Hello everyone, this is Dan, hope you're doing well. And in this video of Android Power User, I'm going to be talking about Xposed and the Xposed framework. So what Xposed is it gives you added functionality to Android, like having a custom ROM without having a custom ROM. When you have, so I'll give you an example of Xposed. I'll show you real quick and then I'll do more explaining. So here I have my Xposed folder, and I have the framework which manages all the modules, and the modules add functionality. So if I open the framework here, I can see all my modules here that add functionality that a normal Android app with root couldn't add. So here I have one like YouTube background play. So without paying the $10 a month, you can get YouTube background play on Android if you have Xposed, or no ads for the YouTube app if you have Xposed. With YouTube Adaway. And I could show you this if I open the YouTube app here. And these are the main modules people use Xposed for, is the YouTube ones. And then you also have ones to download videos from YouTube. And these are all functionality you couldn't add by an app. So you have to have an Xposed module. You see here I'm on my homepage, but I don't have any ads. So yeah, these are all added by Xposed modules. Now there's only about 1,000 modules, and if you go to the module page, you can see, and there's about one or two ads so far for the last months, and yeah, I think I have 13 Xposed modules installed. So Xposed module replaces the need for custom ROM. There's no really need for a custom ROM anymore if you have Xposed, and in order to get Xposed, you have to have root, but you do not need an unlocked bootloader. And TWRP, you can use Flashfire to flash the Xposed framework straight to your rooted device. Now, Xposed does not work on Samsung 5.0 Lollipop unless you have a de-odexed ROM, so that's the only time you need a custom ROM. But as December of 2016, Xposed for Samsung works on Lollipop 5.1 all the way up to Marshmallow. So, Xposed for Samsung is not really an issue anymore. So Xposed is for everyone, and you don't really need a custom ROM. And you don't need TWRP. You don't need any custom recoveries. You don't need Clockwork Mod, and you don't need a custom ROM. So Xposed basically gives you all the features of a custom ROM while still keeping all the features of your stock ROM. That means everything works. So your GPS always works because you never flashed a custom ROM. So we'll go through the Xposed modules here and just some of the ones I have. So like pop-up video. So here, I was just watching a video from China Nonstop. So if I want to pop it up with pop-up video, which is an Xposed module, this is a YouTube video. You should see it load up here in a second. Here we are. It's loading.
Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I am back. Victory is ours. Victory is mine. Victory is yours. Victory is ours. And I'm going to explain to you. So here on the rooftop of my current restaurant, you have some chairs here after and small tables. But that's not the point of.
And it adds extra functionality to your device. Now I'll go ahead and walk through all the Xposed modules I have. And again, there's only about 1,000, and I have all the ones I think are useful for my device. So it's not like some super repository where there's just, a million apps. Kind of like Linux pretends when you first get started. Like there's some super community out there that you can do anything with desktop Linux, which isn't true. You'll realize that the software is a lot less than Windows. Windows doesn't even have, as much software as Android, it seems. Okay, so we have Battery Shutdown Manager. So this will give you a countdown before your device shuts down, so you get 60 seconds to plug your device into a charger before your device shuts down. It's kind of nice. Yeah, some apps won't show up in the recents. They'll show up. This blocks that secure flag, so you can take screenshots of apps. It won't let you take screenshots. Now this doesn't work for Netflix because Netflix uses some specific digital rights management to not allow that. But if you did want to record Netflix, you could use it with Bandicam on Windows and Chrome. So on Android though, you can't record Netflix even if you have the secure flag turned off. Camera show notification when someone opens your camera. Now I haven't used this, but I think this is like if someone has installed spyware on your phone and you're not sure, it would give you like a green indicator whenever the camera is used. So that's kind of useful because like let's say someone's viewing your camera and you don't know it. You have this module and it should tell you that hey, someone's accessing the camera. And then custom text, this one's fun. It can replace any text that the accessibility service can see. So here there's an app. And accessibility, I'll cover that later too. But yeah, it can change words. So here in Tasker, I would always forget what auto input action I needed to start an auto click event where it sees the button and automatically clicks it. So I changed it to automatically tell me, and I'll show you here, auto input. You see here it's UI update and then UI update, UI action, UI update. The one I actually need is UI update. So with the word changer, I added in these two emoji at the end. Whenever my device sees UI update, adds these two emoji to say, hey, dummy, pick this one. This is the one you want. It's yelling at me. Hey, dummy, this is the one you want. So I'll go back to my modules here. And here we have force touch detector. This is kind of like 3D touch because Android can actually see how much of your skin is in contact with the screen. And I'll go ahead and show that to you here if you go down to developer options. And let's turn on show touch, show pointer location. Okay, now see where it says size? This is how Android can tell how much your skin's touching the screen. So I'm going to do a light touch with my thumb here. Now I'm going to add more and more pressure. It's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 18, 20. So what force touch does is it allows you to do different events based on how much of that touch is on the screen. So I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here where it says size. So here I'm at 9. So I'm talking about this indicator. Give me a second here. Talking about this indicator right here where it says size. So Android can see that if you have an exposed module and do custom actions based on that, like 3D touch. So you can get a version of 3D touch on Android if you have exposed modules. Now I actually don't have that running now. I find it more annoying. I use Exposed Edge, which gives me all the ergonomic navigation I need, in my opinion. So if I want to see my notifications, I don't have to swipe up from the top. I can swipe up from the bottom, and here's my notifications panel, and that is done with the Exposed Edge. Yeah, and then here's ones that hide the little battery alert, so I don't get the little battery alert anymore. Hide no passwords, so when I'm tapping my passwords, they're not hidden. Stuff like that. Lucky Patcher, I'll go ahead and talk about Lucky Patcher and how people pirate on Android and what that is. And it's basically people use Lucky Patcher to get free in-app purchases. So Lucky Patcher works on a lot of apps to get free in-app purchases, and it has some other useful features too. So I'll go ahead and go through that in another video. Here we have Scoop, catches a stack trace when an app crashes. So sometimes they'll say Android app unexpectedly closed, but it doesn't tell you why. So this will give you a little, it'll give you some text about why Android says it crashed, like if you were a developer and plugged into debug mode, which is really nice. So you get a kind of a hint why the app crashes. Yeah, download status bar. This sees what in your notifications panel has a percentage indicator, and then it automatically adds that. See my blue power bar up here? That see, I'm at 90% battery, so this is at 90%, and it goes down over time. Well, a download bar is the opposite of that. As the download gets more and more, the bar gets more and more, the bar gets more and more on your screen. So that's what a download bar is. It tells you how your download is doing without having to look at your notifications panel. I'm going to start the Get task. This Android made it so device apps can't see what other apps are running. In Lollipop, this disables that, so you can get the Switcher app again. And Switcher, I'll cover this too. Okay, it's not running right now. Let me go ahead and run that. Where did I put? Oh, here we are. Here's Switcher. It says it's on, but I'll turn it back on. Okay, so you can see what apps are running here, and I can switch easily with Switcher. So you can see here, I can switch to my apps. So yeah, that's what it does. And so unrestricted Get task disables that security restriction and allows you to go ahead and use the Switcher app, where if you didn't have root and exposed, it would be disabled. Then we have Xposed Edge, which I just showed you for navigation. Let's say I want to open Tasker, I just swipe up from the left side of my screen, and here I have Tasker. And I tap in the middle to return to my previous app at the top here, and I'm back here. It really helps the ergonomics and navigation. And then the last ones we have here are X TouchWiz, which just adds some features to Android. For Samsung and AOSP or stock Android or normal Android has their own version of this. It just adds some tweaks. So I'll go ahead and open it up and show you here. It's not anything too important. I don't use it that much. I could live without it easy. So let's say I wanted to do a change to my notifications panel. It would give me things that no Android app could do. So expand all notifications, show data usage. I don't know, I should actually have this one. Yeah, you can see you can just add things like this. You can hide the battery and everything else. Yeah, but it's things that aren't too important. Okay. So here we have, yeah, that's the WAN for Xposed. And after you making a change or add an exposed module from the repository, you're going to need to reboot your system, and you're going to need to go to, oh, and you also have YouTube background play and YouTube play with the screen off. So after you downloaded a module and you've installed the Xposed Framework and you flashed the Xposed Framework to Flashfire, now you need to make sure you have the right version of Xposed. So there's the 32-bit version, which is the older phones, and the 64-bit version, which is the newer phones. And it's easy if you're running KitKat or below to install Xposed. It's much easier. You don't even need to use Flashfire, I don't think. So yeah, after you've downloaded Xposed and you've added a module, you would come in here to the modules and you would click to this little checkbox here to activate. Module is updated, and then you click it again. Module list was updated, and you have to reboot for it to become active. Okay, so yeah, so to install the Xposed Framework, you need what am I gonna say here? Oh yeah, to check if your device is 32-bit. Okay, so it'll say what SDK version you are. So if you go down to I'll show you with an app, and app will be easier. Let's go to my admin folder here, and we're looking for one like CPU-Z. This will do right here. Yeah, so if I go here to I'm looking for 32-bit. I don't want GPU. I want system chip. think I want system. Yeah, okay, Android 6. Perfect. Here, what API is important. It'll tell you what API level of exposed you want for your device. And, perfect. This tells you if you have root, which is important, and ARM version 8. So I think the ARM version tells you if you are 32-bit or 64-bit, but there should be an easier way to see. Device. Yeah, I think if you Google ARM v8, I think that is 64-bit. So it'll tell you, what API level you need and whether you're 32-bit or 64-bit if you download CPU-Z. So, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll respond. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Now, to wrap up, Xposed is a replacement for custom ROMs. Custom ROMs are 2012, 2013. You don't really need a custom ROM anymore. That's old advice. Even TWRP and Clockwork Mod aren't really needed anymore because you have things like FlashFire where you can automatically flash and make changes to your system with just an Android app and root. Yeah, so the whole custom ROM thing, in my opinion, is dying. It's not really that important anymore. I even left a comment on XDA developers saying, why is this all stupidity like you'd find on Android Central? And the reply was that a lot of the main developers don't even go to the XDA forums anymore. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like a lot of the reputation that was built up over time isn't actually deserved anymore, and so Android is a changing system. So the whole custom ROM thing really is not important. The whole TWRP thing really is not important. What's important now is root and Xposed Framework. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll respond. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps.